Star Trek Picard. This is not Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek. Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Scott here from Can Geek Games and Collectibles. Welcome as always to the Can Geek YouTube channel. It is Friday, January the 24th. This is our spoiler-free review of Star Trek Picard Episode 1, which aired on CBS All Access yesterday. Now, before we get into that, I want to quickly acknowledge something. I was wrong about something I said in a video we uploaded a couple days ago. We uploaded a video where I suggested that CBS was possibly using the Star Trek Hive graphic novel as their source material for Star Trek Picard. Now, after having watched the first episode of Picard, I can tell you that I was more than likely wrong. If they are using Hive as their source material at all, then they are doing it so loosely that it is barely recognizable. Now, having said that, Hive is still a really good standalone book, telling a very compelling story about Picard, 7 of 9, Data, and the Borg. So if it does sound like something you're interested in, you can find it at our web store at cangeek.com. It's $15, and we ship anywhere in Canada. Now, this is going to be a quick review of Picard. We are going to avoid spoilers. We are going to very quickly touch on a couple of key points though. Number one, going into this series, you need to know that Picard is set in a very dark time for the United Federation of Planets. Anyone that has been following the news about this series prior to its release knows that the events of this series take place after the destruction of Romulus and at a point in time where Picard has left the United Federation of Planets. He is no longer a member of Starfleet. He's just a citizen. Now, there is a political undertone to Picard, where Picard is not using this as their source material. What they are using as their source material is current world events. And there is absolutely no mistaking that fact when you watch the series. Now, I have seen some YouTubers put out videos where they've complained about that. And at the very top of this video, I said that this is not Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek. Nor should it be. Because here's the truth. Star Trek is well over 50 years old now. When Roddenberry created Star Trek, the world was at a different point in time. Different events were transpiring, and we are not at a fixed point in time. The world has traveled along, its timeline over that 50 some odd years. Things have changed, and Star Trek has changed along with it. So the events that you're watching transpire in Picard are a direct reflection of world events currently taking place. And you know what? I acknowledge that, and frankly, I salute that. Good on them for using that as a mirror for the events that take place in Picard. Now, something else you need to be aware of. Picard is violent. It is, in my opinion, probably the most violent Star Trek TV series that's come out so far. It definitely puts almost everything that came before it to shame. I would say the only series that is comparable to Picard when it comes to level of violence might be Star Trek Discovery. Now, to that point, I'd also like to point out that if you have been watching Discovery for the last 2 seasons, you kind of know what to expect with Picard. It has the same sort of dark, foreboding undertones to it. So just bear that in mind before you start watching Picard as well. Now, we did not include any real spoilers in this review. However, in the description down below, actually, you will find a link to a blog that we've put out that covers a ton of spoilers for episode 1 of Picard. So if you haven't watched Picard, if you can't watch Picard, but you'd like to know what's going on, click on the link in the description down below and it'll give you the basic backstory, including, some specific spoilers as they relate to certain characters, certain creatures, and life forms. That's all I'm going to say without giving away any spoilers. Last but not least, I'd love to hear if you're watching Picard, if you're enjoying this series so far. Frankly, I love it. I'm really glad to see Patrick Stewart back in the role. As I said a couple moments ago, the world around us has changed. Star Trek has changed. Jean-Luc Picard, as being portrayed by Patrick Stewart, has changed as well. And I think that's, it's a necessary thing. So if you're watching Picard and you're enjoying it as much as I am, let me know with a comment in the down below if you're enjoying it. And if you are not enjoying Picard, leave a comment and let us know why you're not enjoying it as well. Doesn't make us right, doesn't make you wrong. We're just sharing opinions. Anyways, that's it. As always, thank you very much for watching us here on YouTube. Thanks as always for listening to me ramble. We'll upload another video again very soon. Until then, take it easy, have a fantastic weekend, and ciao.